I think Elon Musk believes he's president. I do.
Well, you've been calling him vice president.
I've called him vice president. I called him president because I don't know what JD is doing. I hardly ever say. I don't remember last time we even talked about JD.
You're right. He's planning the presidency when they get rid of Trump.
So you think it's Musk Vance?
Possible.
Hey, you know who? Stay away from the stairways.
The Holocaust isn't about race.
This is not good karma, you know? That's what I was thinking at the time. I was two tables away from Trump, and I'm looking, I'm like, man, this is too much, you know?
I mean, I'm getting off. I'm getting off today because I just feel like, you know, it's so messy, and I'm tired of now having had certain kinds of attitudes blocked, and now they're back on. And I'm gonna get out, and if it settles down and I feel more comfortable, maybe I'll come back. Now, words matter, and mine are no exception. I regret my comments, as I said, and I stand corrected.
All right, so Whoopi Goldberg has found herself in hot water again, and this time it's not just internet drama, it's a full-blown media storm. ABC suspended her, social media exploded, and now there are even whispers about Elon Musk being involved. Yeah, it's messy. So, what exactly did Whoopi say that got her benched? And why are some people convinced Musk had a hand in it? Buckle up because this one's got everything: controversy, power moves, and a few twists nobody saw coming. Now, this is where things take a turn. During a segment on The View, Whoopi started going off about Elon Musk, making some pretty wild claims. She suggested that Musk and Vance were secretly working on a plan to silence the new president, but that wasn't even the part that got people talking. At one point, she even joked, if you can call it that Musk was so power-hungry he thinks he's the president. And just when you thought it couldn't get any weirder, she threw in a bizarre comment about people trying to trip Trump on the stairs. Now, was she being sarcastic? Maybe. Was she serious? Who knows? But whatever she meant, the internet ran with it. Some people thought she was just rambling, but others, including Musk's supporters, took it very differently. They saw it as a direct attack, almost like she was hinting at something bigger. And if there's one thing Elon Musk doesn't do, it's let things slide. The moment Whoopi's comments hit the air, social media erupted. Musk's supporters weren't just annoyed, they were furious. Some called it reckless, others said she was straight up spreading misinformation, and a few even hinted that she might have crossed a legal line. And it didn't stop there. Reports started swirling that Musk himself wasn't too happy about it either. While he didn't respond directly, his fan base made it very clear they wanted some kind of action. Boycott, The View started trending, with people demanding ABC hold Whoopi accountable. Well, ABC didn't waste any time. Just days later, they hit her with a 2-week suspension. In a public statement, ABC News president Kim Godwin called her remarks wrong and hurtful and said she needed time to reflect and learn. Sounds like PR talk, but let's be real. This was damage control. But here's where things get really interesting. Some insiders claim Whoopi's suspension wasn't just about what she said, it was about who she said it about. Because let's face it, calling out Elon Musk, that's bound to ruffle some powerful feathers. And according to some reports, Musk's legal team was already looking into it. After Whoopi's suspension, things didn't just die down, they escalated, and fast. Suddenly, the conversation wasn't just about her comments, it was about whether or not Elon Musk was taking legal action. Reports started surfacing that Musk was preparing a massive lawsuit against Whoopi, with some sources throwing around an $80 million price tag. Now, whether that number is accurate or not is up for debate, but what's clear is that Musk wasn't about to let this slide without a fight. His legal team was allegedly already gathering evidence, arguing that Whoopi's comments had done serious damage to his reputation. And let's be honest, when someone as powerful as Musk decides to go after you, it's not just talk. He's been known to take legal action against those who misrepresent him, and this situation, it wasn't looking good for Whoopi. ABC, of course, stayed very quiet about any lawsuit rumors, which only made people more suspicious. Some insiders even suggested that her suspension was a strategic move to get ahead of any potential legal fallout before it spiraled out of control. One thing's for sure, Whoopi disappeared from the show, Musk walked away looking like the winner, and ABC managed to avoid a full-scale PR disaster. Coincidence? Maybe. But in Hollywood, nothing is ever just a coincidence. After days of silence, Whoopi finally addressed the situation. But let's just say, her response didn't exactly calm things down. Instead of a straightforward apology, she took a very different approach. She claimed that her words were misunderstood and that she never meant to imply anything sinister about Musk or Trump. And then came the part that left people scratching their heads. She brushed it off by saying she was actually talking about her cat tripping her at home. Yeah, that's the excuse she went with. Obviously, that explanation didn't land well. Instead of putting the controversy to rest, it just fueled more backlash. Critics called it a weak attempt at dodging responsibility, while Musk's supporters saw it as proof that she knew she messed up. And then there were her own fans who were split on how to react. Some believed she was being unfairly targeted, arguing that her comments were just typical talk show banter blown out of proportion. But others, even some longtime supporters, felt like she had gone too far this time and needed to own up to it. Meanwhile, ABC remained tight-lipped, refusing to comment on whether her apology had any impact on their decision. But by this point, it didn't really matter, because the damage was already done. Whoopi wasn't just dealing with a suspension, she was dealing with a full-blown reputation crisis. Just when it seemed like things couldn't get worse for Whoopi, another twist came out of nowhere. Reports started circulating that federal authorities had gotten involved, supposedly looking into whether her comments posed any legal or security risks. Now, let's be real. When law enforcement steps in, it's usually not just about a talk show rant. While the details were murky, some sources suggested that Musk's legal team had been pushing for a deeper look into Whoopi's statements. The argument? That her words could be seen as dangerous, especially when you're talking about powerful political figures and alleged plans to take someone down. ABC, meanwhile, seemed to be scrambling behind the scenes. At first, her suspension was just 2 weeks, but suddenly, rumors started swirling that her time on The View was coming to an end. Network executives were reportedly debating whether keeping her around was worth the backlash. After all, The View has always been known for its fiery debates, but this time, it was turning into a legal and PR nightmare. Then came the announcement Whoopi was removed from the show. ABC didn't give any dramatic reasoning, just a standard corporate statement. But let's be honest, nobody believed this was just a routine decision. Some insiders hinted that the network wanted to distance itself from the controversy before it spiraled even further. Others speculated that Musk himself had applied pressure behind the scenes, and just like that, Whoopi Goldberg was out. No farewell episode, no grand send-off, just a quiet removal from the show she had been a part of for years. But the real question is, was this really about Whoopi? Or was something even bigger happening behind closed doors?